Hi everyone, in today's video we have huge news about the massive adoption of Bitcoin that you don't want to miss. Also, we're gonna be diving into the importance of having a reserve currency and how Bitcoin could play a key role for countries to look to protect their economy. Plus, also we have a big news as well of Sui just scaling and scaling more and more. And of course, we're gonna also analyze the Bitcoin price, algo charts, and try to figure it out what's gonna be the big move in the next um, weeks. So now I want just to start already with the big news, which is Coinbase actually in Canada, they using PayPal to onboard more and more and more people to buy and sell crypto, which is completely massive because like most of the people have and use PayPal. And this is a super easy way to onboard everybody. And they starting in Canada. And I guess like with the time they're gonna do more and more and more countries because also like Coinbase, they just moved to Europe, and PayPal will exist almost everywhere. So this is why you should buy Bitcoin now that it's even more easy. Either you have the option or not to buy it with PayPal, but you should not miss out because we're still early. Most of the people think that they missed the train. I used to think as well that when the Bitcoin price was around 3,000, but I removed that from my mind and I enter, and now I can completely understand how many people can think like a 20 is always too late, but actually is not because now we are 115. And so if you think that 115, we get you're late, you're not late at all. You're gonna feel that you're late now, but when you see and the years to come, you not late at all because we're gonna go to 500,000, we're gonna go to 1 million, we're gonna go to 2 million because the existing financial system is so fucked up that there is no way to fix it, and that's why Bitcoin come in front to solve all those issues. So this is a massive news because everybody now can just enter to PayPal. And if I would be you, I would be putting like 10% or 5% of the paycheck, just put it on crypto. I always say just save in Bitcoin, save in Bitcoin. Don't save in euros, don't save in dollars, just save in Bitcoin. I mean, that's the money you just want for later for your retirement. There's no money that you want for buying, I don't know, a car or whatever. Um, it's just money you want to keep when you're old. Just put it in Bitcoin, 5%, 10%. If you have the opportunity to do it, just do it because more and more institutions are coming, new people are coming. And remember that Bitcoins, there are only 21 millions that ever gonna exist. And um, they already lost like 2 million or 3 million, something like that. So, and the potentially can be more, can be also lost because people sometimes they forget the key phrase. So just keep that in mind. I mean, just saying Bitcoin and stop saving and dollars. Now I want to also show you this video. I really like Ray Dalio because the way he explained is really easy. He really want to get out there and show um, the most he can. He always want to show and distribute the knowledge in the most easy way to the majority of people. And he explains really good how the parents have been having the the power and the currency, and with the time have been degrading until the time we are now. So just listen to his video.
As the country becomes the largest international trading empire, its transactions can be paid with its currency, making it the preferred global medium of exchange. And because their currency is so widely accepted and frequently used, people around the world want to save in it, making it the preferred storehold of wealth, and thus the world's leading reserve currency. The guilder was the world's main reserve currency when the Dutch led world trade, the pound was when the British led, and the dollar has been since the US led. Naturally, China's currency is increasingly being used as a reserve currency. Having a reserve currency enables the empire to borrow more than other countries. That advantage is huge. Think about it. People all over the world are eager to save and hence lend back their currency to the empire. Countries without a reserve currency don't have that. And when the empire runs out of its own money, remember the United States in 1971? They can always print more. The exorbitant privilege afforded by the empire's reserve currency leads borrowing to increase and the beginning of a financial bubble. This series of cause and effect relationships leading to mutually supportive financial, political, and military powers, bolstered by the borrowing power of a reserve currency, have gone together since history began to be recorded. All the empires that became the most powerful in the world followed this path to the top.
Yeah, and that's why, yeah, and it's so important because he mentioned something about the 71, and since the 71, they start to print because they realize that they can remove the backing of the gold, and that's how they start founding a lot of corrupt stuff, or we could say like they can unlimited found wars, and we still have that, and we're gonna continue seeing it because the government have the power to continue doing that. Um, so yeah, I mean, hopefully you understand why it's so important for countries to have it. But if they just printing and printing and printing, I mean, there is no really nobody gonna believe in that. And that's the question is how Bitcoin can play a big role as a reserve for the countries. And most of the countries, like I was saying, they print their own. So yeah, most of the country because not all of them have the power to do it, but otherwise they would do it. But they actually print their own money, like the euros, the dollar, the pesos, and the problem is that the more they print, the less value the money becomes. It is like making more and more and more copies of a painting. The original isn't read anymore, and that's why also they get so high in price as well because the artists most of the time they just dead and they just made one of a kind. And now just think of Bitcoin like digital gold. It is limited. It's only 21 million will ever exist. I already say that they like there is like 2 millions that they got lost already, and a difference with the gold because the gold can be mined everywhere in the world. They're always going to find another source, and if not, we're going to go to another planet that we're going to be trying to search for more and more and more gold. Always has been like this, and it's going to continue being like that. No governments can also like print more of it, so they don't have the power to do what they have been doing since the 71, and that is a completely shift to the financial system that we have and has been punishing the plebs pretty much in most of the society because we have been affected for that. And it is global, decentralized, and cannot be manipulated. Now the question is, why would a country use Bitcoin as a reserve? Well, just like some countries store gold to back their money and show strength, they could also like store Bitcoin as a part of the national reserve. What that means? This means the currency could have more trust and real value behind. It protect the economy from inflation and collapse. And also, it will finally show the world the modern that they are ready for the digital age. Because from now on, everything gonna go digital. You like it or not, the new generation, they don't like more this cash paper. They don't like the banks. They just go directly to crypto. It's native of them already to think digital. We don't see it like this because we have been in the whole transition of how, for example, with the technology of the big computers, and then we have, with the time, we have more and more and more small things, and the technology just have been super fast. The same with the telephone, just all these home telephones, how big they were. Now we have just like computer in our pockets. We have also now the autos like Tesla, like they are computer with wheels. And all that we have seen the whole transition, but they just native in technology. They just grew up now where their parents have a screen in their pockets and all the time running with the telephone, a computer on it. They just grown up with that. And so that's why government need to have a big change as well, because every person, the new generation, just gonna go more and more and more towards crypto because they already growing up without believing in that Ponzi scheme that their parents have been affected with, and that's why many families they cannot even afford to buy an apartment, a house, and they want to unfuck themselves. That is a fact, and it's something that needs to be changed. It's gonna change. That's why you should get more into Bitcoin. Just as I was saying, first you should learn a little bit what Bitcoin is, how it works. That's why you subscribe to this channel. You like the video. I will really appreciate that. And like this, we can also like move around all the algorithm and share this information to many more people that are interested to know what Bitcoin is and how it works and how you can take advantage of that now that you're still early, because there's gonna be one time when um it won't you won't have the same return and possibilities like now. So that's why I say if you have the opportunity to put 5%, 10% of your paycheck, you should do it. It doesn't matter the price, because when you just see it as a saving in the long term, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 35 years, whatever, more than 15 years, you're gonna have so much more than having use savings in the bank account, which most of the time is minus. So just keep that in mind, and you shouldn't wait more time. Um, Now, I also want to mark something about Sui, because it's really incredible. It's like, so the stablecoins transfer volume just surpassed 1 trillion. This is really huge for Sui. Let me know if you own Sui and you're holding and you're thinking it's gonna go to $10. Just write it in the commentary below. I would like to know how many Sui fans are watching the channel. And we're gonna check how the chart looks. We're gonna start first with Sui in this case. Um, See, if you're interested in having Sui and you still don't have, we're gonna try to find if it's a good time or not to buy. Let me see, where is it with Sui? Here we have Sui. Let's check first in the weekly. This is what I was mentioning before. Everybody was calling. We're going now to 1,000. That is why, like I was saying all the time, this is like simple rule. We reaching the previous all-time high, even if we surpass. When we are in this area, there is no sense to buy, because everybody can enter and everybody's calling to enter, and then you just go up 9%, but then you go down. You go down 27%. Never, never, never reach the previous high. Never. Just be patient. This is no area to buy. And I was calling everybody just to wait. And now we're having again this retracement, which is, I mean, for me, this is a good area to buy, but I think that the best area, if you want to know, like the perfect area to get inside, it will be this one over here. Let me show you. It will be around here. Everything around this area gonna be the perf, but you can start accumulating already here, because we maybe won't reach there, but there is a big possibility, and I will explain you why there is a big possibility that we go and reach this area of the 290, more or less 288. Even if you think that won't happen, there is a possibility. These all probabilities, so just keep that in mind. Like we did here, in this area, we went up. We did here, we went up. We did here, we went up. And now you think we're gonna do here? We're doing it since last year. Since last year, we have been coming back to that area and then we go up. And now in this area, it's not. I think that's why the biggest possibility is to still come around this area. So 290 more or less. I mean, right now we're in 350s. 290 will be the best um, entry. But just keep in mind that also it can probably maybe we just see a small consolidation over here. We don't go there by the time because this is moving with the time as well. This orange line is a representation of the price of the of the token of the coin. So it will be moving like this, and maybe with the consolidation, then we're gonna find it around three. Just keep that in mind. But if you don't have anything you want to enter, you could start accumulating little by little. This is the weekly chart, so we're talking about the next week's month. Now during the day, I mean, this I think we already talked in our previous video. Let's see. Yeah, I was talking about we're gonna have these lines stretching a little bit, and after that we're gonna see a little bit of consolidation, exactly what Bitcoin is doing, most of the altcoins are doing, and then we're gonna see a way up. But here I was marking in this area there is no, it's not the best area to buy. Why? Because I was referring as well to the previous high. Even if everybody's calling to whatever, and then we have this huge amazing news. Um, the charts say completely something different. So you always need to learn to um, how to read the market. And this is what I want to show you guys because otherwise you're just gonna be driven by FOMO, and this don't gonna bring you and don't gonna bring you to a good place. You're just gonna be losing your capital. So I hope you have cleared what's gonna happen for Sui, and hopefully you accumulate a little bit more because I think we're gonna go up and this have a big potential as well. It's one of the I think like top 15 probably or 20 right now, so it's quite strong. In market cap, you won't receive as many exits as with a small market cap, but is less possibility to lose money faster. That I don't know, like talking something like let me see, I don't have anything like that here. Mocha, I don't know, yeah, like Zika, for example. Like Zika, I mean, it doesn't have the market cap is much more lower. So yeah, I will go in. Oh, I'm doing it already. I did enter before in many icons, to be honest, like months ago, but just in the top 50 because this one they pull back as much less, and the upper one it will gonna be it's like more secure than this small coins. So yeah, I want to accumulate a little bit more as well. So if you feeling accumulating, this is the best area, like I was mentioning to you. Now I want to check really quick Bitcoin because in the previous video I was talking about the consolidation we're gonna have and have been playing perfectly. Let me see. Let me see the 1 hour just to have more clear the consolidation I was talking. And here you can see the consolidation, how it's going up and down, up and down, up and down. Then we start to see that pattern as well in the 4 hour chart. We see it over here. I was mentioning, remember, the the area to buy was around here. We even came a little bit below just to liquidate people. And the best area will be here, but I didn't thought we I didn't think that we're gonna go to this area as I mentioned because we will be doing previous low, which made no sense with the previous high we did, and now yeah we're having a little bit of resistance over here, but I do think the price either gonna be just here a little bit, maybe go to liquidate, but potentially we're just gonna go up because it looked yeah, super bullish. I actually in I do took around here around the 13,000. I entered to another position. I entered one here and then I closed it around the 15,000. I entered another one here. And now I'm still waiting here to see what happened. I have my stop loss already above the entry price. So like this, I protect my capital. Hopefully you're doing the same as well. Um, and now I'm just waiting because I think we're gonna go at least to reach the previous high, which was around the 16, 17,000, and then yeah, after that, I think I'm just gonna drop um, the long, and then try to look for a better entry because we're gonna have to. We have a strong high over here, so I'm expecting at least in this area to top, and then potentially we're gonna go back a little bit, and then we go up. We will see. Just I wanted to give a short update of what the Bitcoin price is doing. Now, let me check another one. I want to check also the Ethereum BTC because this is just it's insane. In the 4 hours, it just want to go up and up and up. It's not like taking risk, and this is make a lot of sense when you see that Ethereum fighting because for a long time have been doing nothing more like making making lose the patience of everybody who is holding Ethereum. And let me see the daily. Yeah, the daily. I mean, the daily. With the time, I'm not really too optimistic because we have been making a little bit red and then going back in 90s. We reaching previous high. Mm, but still, we have this. The Fortuna line is still positive. Don't want to break down. I personally, in the daily, I would enter that. I will enter because we are in previous high, you see. It can go up. Yes, it can go up. But like I just show you in the SUI chart, the possibilities of going up, uh, I would say 50-50. It can go up, but the reward is no higher than the risk. So I will wait for a pull up or a little bit more consolidation in this area that the time pass, and we will see how the Fortuna line is at the time. And once we have already time, the volume to check the volume as well and the direction of the Fortuna line, we can talk again if we enter or not. But that is in the daily, not so it's in the next weeks. In the 4 hours, I mean, it looks like want to go back. Maybe we could kind of even break this previous high and do exactly what Sui did. We went up. Let me draw you here. We go up something like this, and then we fall. And we're gonna fall in this area. And by the time if this is a possibility, just keep it in mind that we're gonna do that because we see how the Fortuna line is going to a positive way. We just reached the horizontal line. Now we're in a positive way. The direction of the valley is still want to form another small. Probably we're gonna form another small green valley. Then we're gonna have this derivation where we're gonna there is a variation. So we're gonna have a small valley, then the line over here, and we're gonna have a higher one. This makes sense. And after that, we're gonna go down, but not to zero. Remember, it's just to the orange line. So you could make a trade from here. I personally won't do it because the same. The risk is higher than the reward, and you want a higher reward and lower risk. So I will be just patient, waiting after the pullback. Once we have the pullback, I will go in, and then that is how you can take the most opportunities. That's why I always mention patience is the key because if you don't have time or you think that you miss it up, you're just gonna lose your money. So we don't want to that. We don't want to lose the money. We want to make more as much as we can because we have the opportunity right now to do it. And the following years, I don't know how that's going to be because there's a lot of institution now. We have big waves institution. They're just going to be shaking. taking the money from everybody. So that's why I want to teach you. I want you to have a little bit more knowledge, and I would appreciate if you smite the like button if you like and help you this kind of video to have a better sense of what the markets do and how you can better navigate. Because with the time, there's gonna be more and more and more wells shaking the market. And if you don't have any idea of how market works, um, you're gonna lose all your money, and that's what I don't want you to do. I just want you to go up with the trend of crypto as well, because the direction for the next years is just up and up and up and up and up. And you and me and everybody should take advantage of that and just ride the trend, because the trend is bullish F. So now going back to Super, I was mentioned this, it's just so incredible because once the price go up, all the news, everybody, all the influencers, the whole space is super bullish. Out of nowhere, all the news start to come, and they are always a bullish of F and bullish and bullish and bullish and bullish, and everybody just entering FOMO. I was mentioned this. The ABC Elliott continuation pattern is clear. Around here, do you remember we broke the previous high right here. We even came, break it, and we went all the way to the 93 cents. The previous one was 80, and it felt we're gonna go now to $2 on 150. I was saying patient is key. Patient is key. And now we see perfectly aligning with the ABC. Um, and now the question is, what's gonna happen? And my answer is, we're going up in the next weeks and months. So this is the best area according to the ABC continuation pattern from Elliott wave. The best area to buy, the confirmation area to buy is in the C, because the A is not really confirmed. We can go lower, but after having this upper side and then the retrace over here, the best area to buy is here. So if you like this project from Elliott Trade and you've seen that they're gonna go to moon and they're gonna continue um, working, they have been doing all this time. I will put a massive, massive, massive arrow to the upper side. I mean, this doesn't mean we're gonna go to $3. We will see with the time, because this is something else I forgot and I want to show you as well. Like I want to remark again, even if it's a little bit early to say it, but it's something for you to have in mind that it may happen. We maybe here is a little bit complicated to to say it, but we start. These are direction in forming already, and this we see it clearly on Bitcoin. I pointed out in my past videos that we have something like this. And I think it's going to happen in the next month. We're going to continue following that. Why? We can see in the previous, this was in 2020. Let me see if I can check the other one. I think this is I'm gonna check Bitcoin and that's it. I would love to see more outcomes, but I would prefer you guys to write in the commentary below what you would like me to check, and I would gonna take a deeper look and find a good entries, either for spot or for trading. Just write it in the commentary below. And like this, this channel is pretty much for you, so just let me know what you would like me to observe, and like this we can learn together and we can find our best entries for um, have more profits in our pockets. So here I wanted to show you, because these have a more historical data. Let me show you. The highest we have in 2021 was around the 65 point into side. You can see on the left side the biggest valley. Then we have this one in 2024 at a peak of 70 pretty much. So historically, we just go around the 70, let's say 65, 70. So if this one gonna be even bigger, going to 80 or 70, the possibility is like it's it's less. It's less. So I don't think we may do it. We're gonna continue checking for that. I'm saying this is just too early. Don't think I'm no bearish at all, but it's just something to consider and have on mind because everybody's calling that we're gonna go to a million this cycle, and I already explained. I do see that scenario if we have the states already saying that they buy billions and billions and billions, and they selling the gold for buying Bitcoin, and then we start to hear a massive wave of country buying Bitcoin as a reserve. But I don't think this gonna happen now, and I don't think even if they buy right now, I don't think they're gonna say it loud because nobody want to be the first. This is always a difficult part, and also they want to be upfront before to give that big news because that would be massive. And remember that we don't have too many Bitcoin for everybody. If everybody in the world want to buy one and saying normal person one Bitcoin, they can't anymore. Now imagine countries. They want to have as much as they can, so you continue being poor and poor and poor with the currency they giving you with the fiat Ponzi fiat they have been feeding you, giving you every time for your time and your energy when you go to work. So yeah, they don't want you to own Bitcoin, and that's why you should buy more and more and more Bitcoin as you can. So what I wanted to say he said we're gonna have this divergent, potentially with the time with the next month. It's something to keep on mind because I don't want you to stay holding the coins um, for the bear market. More if it's your first bull market. I mean, believe me, that is not a good feeling when you see all the all your wealth or your profits just going down and down, 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 down. We want to take the opportunity to get some chips out of the crypto market. You can reinvest it in physical stuff, or you can have a nice holidays or whatever you want to do with the money, but you can enjoy it, leave some part on crypto. And so yeah, I mean, this aligned with the fifth earlier wave I have been saying all the time. I have it here if you want to see. At the moment, 120 because the time, I mean, for that I say that is so important, volume, time, and direction, and and the price as well. And at the time, I was pointing to was, let me see, what was it? This I posted in December, but that actually was from my other account. They got, yeah, it got removed. So July 2024. I was still calling that we're gonna go to 120, but depending about the time and everything, potentially we will go higher. And 120 we already reached. Now we're 115 and we're reaching that area. We are somewhere here. If you ask me, we're somewhere here consolidating. We not complete the wave number five. We're still somewhere here, and that we probably we're gonna go around that area as well, like over here. And then I do think we're gonna start doing like that. So we just need to keep that on mind. I'm not saying that the bull market is over right now, but let's see. Once we arrive at 140, let's see how the valid is, the direction, the Fortuna line, what is telling us, what's the price, the volume, and how much more time we have. And like this, we're gonna try to take as much as profit as we can because I don't want you to stay holding um, coins that won't help you, and you're gonna regret during the bear market not having dollars because the bear market is the time when we go for shopping, and I want you as well to go for shopping because in the next bull market we're gonna do much more profit. So if you like video like this, I will appreciate again. Subscribe to the channel, like and share it with a friend or someone that you think it may be interesting in learning what we have learned today. And see you tomorrow, guys.